Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, I'm Alicia. I own a crochet boutique called Awestruck Crochet. If you are not new here, hi, welcome back. I'm so glad that you're here joining me on another market vlog. Today is a market. It is Thursday night. I just finished my last market on Saturday, and so it's been a couple days now since the last market. So here we are again. And I can't wait to take you along with me. It is about an hour drive. It doesn't start until 6, but I have to be there by 4 to set up and be ready at 5. This table is just an 8-foot table, so it's a little bit smaller than my other space that I had for the last market. So I won't be having the Levy stand. I will have the 3-tier stand and then their table, and we'll just see what we can get set up that way. But let's go ahead and jump right into it.
Scooters, what can we get started for you?
Can I order a large iced mocha, please?
Will that be all for you?
Yeah, that's all.
Alright, scoot on ahead.
Thank you. Okay, got my Scooter's coffee. I'm going to listen to some jams and drink this for the next hour. And then I need to run to the local boutique that I sell at and take this there. Okay, I'm here at my local store, so I'm going to drop off these little spooky things and take out some of the spring and summer items and put these in there. So let's go ahead and do that. I brought my bag to work on some more chickens while I wait at the market because I'm almost out of my chickens. So I'm going to use this to make some chickens. I got 4 chicken bodies done this market. Hey guys, it is after the market and I wanted to talk about how it went. I did not record a lot of footage at all on this market because I felt like I was being watched, and I still feel awkward and weird when people watch me vlog, and so I just wasn't comfortable to record what was happening or me setting up. And I also, the way I was sitting, the way I positioned the crates, I couldn't really see over my table because it was an 8-foot table, so it was a little taller, and I was in my lawn chair, and so I couldn't really see on the other half of the table to see like what was going on based on where I had to sit and the layout, because you just have that one table. The market was in a car sales, a WK car building, and they leave their desk stations there, and then they set up the tables around the desk. So there's like a big aisle walkway, and then you have the little aisles, and I was in a little aisle. There was supposed to be me and another table, and the other table never showed up, so it was really just me. And then it was super awkward because people kept coming like on both sides, not just the front of my table. They kept like walking around me and stuff because there was a gap. And it was just, I don't know, there was no good way to put it. I'll talk about my sales in a little bit, but I definitely did much better last year. And I think that was because last year I was placed in the main entrance aisle, and you had to be right there in that line in order to like get your shirts and stuff for the night. And so people were waiting in that line, and as people were waiting in the line, they would check out something from my table, versus this year I was in the aisle and you didn't have to stop at my booth if you didn't want to stop at my booth. So let's talk about the best sellers. The best sellers for the night were the hatching chicks, the bitty bats, and the ghost on a swing. And then let's talk about, we'll do the overall purchases. Overall, I'll just tell you that I made $214 without sales tax, and then with sales tax I collected $234.81. So my overall purchases for the night was I sold 2 of the lip balm keychains for $8 each. I sold 2 of the bitty bats for $14 each. I sold 1 of the mini ghosts for $10 each. I sold 1 of my baby fish for $12 each. It was actually in my bin, and the little girl saw something rainbow and she asked if I could look in my bin underneath the table. And so she ended up checking out that from underneath my bin. So she shopped the bin, but that was fun. I sold 1 of the bitty sleepy dinos for $18. I sold 2 of the hatching chicks for $18. I sold 2 of the ghosties on a swing for $10. I sold 1 of the Oak and Marlowe jelly bee for $18. I sold 1 of my mini bees for $8. I sold 2 of the faux fur scrunchies for $4. And then I sold 1 snuggler. It was the chicken snuggler for $40. So that was all of my sales for the night. $214. It's not awful, but it's definitely not my best, especially because I made twice this much last year. This market is just a few hours long. It's from like 6 to 8 p.m. However, I do have to do an hour drive. So I left my house at 3, got there at 4, and then set up. I was set up by 5, and then I had like an hour wait. So it's definitely not the best, but it's $200 that I didn't have. And there was also no booth fee. So this event was a free event for vendors. I did this event last year, and I did this event like 11 years ago. It was my first time doing it 11 years ago, and then I got really into, like, I was going to school for teaching at the time, and so I kind of put awestruck crochet on the side, and I just didn't have time for it. And so each time that they would reach out to me to see if I wanted to do this event again with them, I didn't have hardly any inventory to do it. I'll insert a clip here of my very first booth with them. Me and my mom did it together. It was a collage of all the things that I was making at the time. So it's kind of funny to see my booth now versus what it looked like 11 years ago. But anyway, that is how the market went. I know last vlog I had chatted with you guys about just people being rough with my things, and I had said that you would kind of hear a little bit more about how this market went. And I think this is the market that really put me over the top with me needing to say if a child is under a certain age to ask them to come back to look at items at another time with their grown-up, because I had like 4 to 5 children coming up to look at my booth who were probably like 7 and under, and they were just grabbing all of my crocheted items very roughly, throwing them down on the table, picking something else up, throwing that down on the table. One little girl kept grabbing one of the snugglers and running off with it, and it was the white mouse. And so because of my incident with the unicorn, I was really frightened that the mouse snuggler would then be ruined and a loss for inventory, and so I was really worried about that. So at the end of this event, someone always wins $1,000 from the drawing, and about 7:30, with 30 minutes left remaining of the event, it just seemed like more people were standing around, just like more like waiting to see if they were the winner versus still like shopping and interacting with people. And because of where I was sitting, I had like a family group or a group of friends who were blocking my booth like in the front, so you couldn't even see that I was in that aisle side. You couldn't even see that I was in the aisle side from where if you were standing in the front of that group, it looked like no one was behind you. So I think that may have deflected sales, because throughout the night I had a lot of people that would kind of like stand around or go very slowly around, moving from booth to booth. And if you're standing in that spot, then you can't see anything down the aisle because it's just me, instead of also having another table there. And then I also had people that would stand and sit in front of my booth at the little desk places to eat, and so that made shopping at my booth really hard. And I had this one particular family that stood around for a very long time, and then the child obnoxiously kept like grabbing all of my things when the parent had no intention of buying anything. Like, she almost stopped paying attention to the daughter 5 minutes into them sitting down. So then here they are for another 35 minutes, like wrecking havoc on my booth, and the parent is standing right there but not really paying attention. Like, this little girl crawls under the floor between my table and the other table that was there and shot through underneath the table. It was complete bizarre. And when I was packing up my booth is when I realized that one of my chapsticks inside the lip balm keychain was stolen. So that was my first time that I had ever dealt with anything being stolen from my booth, and of course I didn't realize it at the time because I couldn't see where I was sitting, but I could see the chapstick, so it was right in front of it. So I'm not quite sure how that had happened. I can't blame anyone because I didn't see anything. I just noticed that the chapstick was gone out of the chapstick holder when I was packing up my booth. So if you've experienced that, I don't know. It wasn't the entire thing. It was literally just the chapstick. So I guess I'm gonna tell myself that whoever stole the chapstick probably needed it more than I did, and that's just kind of what it is. I don't know. That's never happened to me before, so I don't know. I think people ask that a lot, like, what would you do if someone stole something? And I don't know, because I think you have to see them in the act of doing it and see them holding it to know that they stole it. And if you're like me and you don't see it until you're packing up, it's just gone. I don't know. That was the first time that that's ever happened to me as well. That was the market. I was very tempted to not post how the market went just because the sales were much lower than what I was anticipating. Like, on my sales goal for September, I had put that since last year I made $407, I had set my goal to about $600. So I didn't even meet half of that goal for the night. But I think it's important to also show markets like this. Like, yes, there wasn't a booth fee, so everything that I made was from profit at this market. But I think it's important for other makers to see that not all markets will be a $900 sellout. Some of them are like this, and you're still kind of figuring it out, and that's okay. I think this is part of the journey of market prepping and attending markets. They are not always going to be a win. Sometimes you don't have very successful markets, and that's okay. Will I do this market next year? I probably will. I do enjoy it. I enjoy seeing like familiar faces and stuff there because I did teach in the town and I grew up in the town, and I have friends and family that live in the town, and it's nice to see them and like chat up with them and stuff. And it's a free event. It's just a couple hours for the market. It's not an all-day thing, but we'll see how next year goes. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this video and sticking it out with me through this part of the vlog. I'm so sorry that there wasn't enough footage or a lot of footage of the actual market in place. I have a market tomorrow that you will see next weekend, and you'll get to see how that market went. And I am crossing my fingers that it is a much better market. It's supposed to rain tomorrow, so we shall see how that goes. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next vlog. Bye, guys.